Hi, I'm Mark Ewell with Saint Aubyn Homes. Today, we're going to introduce you to your new Saint Aubyn home. We're going to talk about some important things you need to know for home ownership. We're going to go over some mechanical systems at your home, show you how to do some certain things, how to take care of your home, and get you ready for the next step in your home ownership journey. Here we are at the front door of a typical home. You've got your lock set here. This is ours. Hopefully we'll have this off by closing. What we will do is we're going to rekey this lock to your unique key. This is called a smart key system. If in the future you want to rekey your lock, it's super easy to do so. You can go to Lowe's or Home Depot or online, order a quick set smart key rekey package. It's $10. Comes with a new set of keys. You can rekey all your locks right here. If you ever have any issues with your locks being sticky, not working well, you can shoot a little bit of spray silicone right into the lock there, just through the keyhole. That'll improve its functionality. Up in the front of the house, and also out back, we've got this power outlet right here. Then, what else do I have to talk about? Come on over here. If you look down here, these are your sewer cleanouts. That's the access that'll be required if you ever have a sewage stoppage at your house. If your sewage line isn't flowing, that's where they're going to take access to look for that. If our warranty service comes out to look there, and we find diapers, something else in there that shouldn't be in there, that will not be a warranty item, that would be billed to the homeowner. Also, looking here at your front porch, this is Colorado. Concrete does crack here. Hairline cracks are not warranty items. Anything that moves up or comes apart, anything that's structural, anything interior that leaks water to the inside of the house, those are things we'll take care of. I'll mention this again a few more times, but hairline cracks are not warranty items. Here we are outside the house at the gas main. This is where your gas service comes into the house. If you ever need to shut off the gas, you're looking right here for this little shut off. This is the on position. You can see it's in line with the flow of the pipe. They turn it off and rotates around until these two holes are lined up. If you find your furnace is not working, gas is not working, hot water is not working, and you come out here and find a padlock on here, that usually means the gas company thinks you haven't paid your bill. But this is normal operation, turned across is shut off. Here we are looking at the downspouts for your home. We're going to talk briefly about drainage. These can be flipped up. The reason they can be flipped up and locked off like so is so if you need to get through here, run some wheelbarrows through, you're working, you can flip it up out of the way. Normally you're going to want to leave this down, you can see there, down here for drainage purposes so that water flows away from your house, away from the foundation. Drainage is very important. We get a lot of heavy rain, especially in the summers in Colorado in that July and August time frame. You want to make sure your drainage is working, that your downspouts are taking the water away from your house. Low spots in drainage are not guaranteed for more than 30 days after closing of your home. So it's your responsibility as a homeowner to maintain that drainage, make sure that it continues to work the way it's supposed to. Coming back into here. This is where the cable and phone come into your house. You usually don't need to mess with this. Whoever you have installing your cable, phone, or internet service will connect into here and connect to the inside of the home. Here we are at the outside sprinkler shutoff for the home. You'll notice there's two valves in here. Right now we're in winterized mode. The sprinkler system is not turned on yet, so I can turn halfway on, halfway off. This would be on if this were in the summer and the sprinkler is on. This is how you can turn these off. And there's also a drain down here. There's a separate video that talks about how to turn on your sprinkler system for the summer. Right now, we're just going to leave this in winterized mode right here. Right here, you've got a hose for the house. There's one spigot in the back, there's one spigot in the front. Very simple to turn on, just like so. Turn off. These do not have to be winterized as long as you turn it all the way off, and do not leave a hose attached in the winter. In the summer, never going to freeze. If you want to leave a hose attached, that's fine. In the winter, disconnect the hose, make sure it's turned all the way off. You shouldn't have any issues with freezing. Here we are outside looking at your AC unit. You have AC. So the unit itself, in the summer, this can be running. It's actually better best for efficiency if it runs more often than not. So the fact that it runs quite a bit is normal. This is your outside shut off of the AC unit. There is also a breaker inside the house. But the way this one works is you flip that up like so, grab this, and pull it out. If you want to store it like it's in the winter, for some reason you shut it off, turn it over, put it back in. This AC unit now won't come on. If you find your AC unit isn't working, this would be the first place to check. Make sure that's in there correctly. Last thing to talk about outside is your soffit vents. They're up at the eaves of your roof, and you can see up there on this side there's two vents on this side of the home. Those are part of your attic ventilation. Generally you shouldn't need to be up in your attic, but you do want to make sure if you ever get up there for any reason that those stay unblocked and that air can continue to flow through there. That is very important for the proper air circulation in your home and to make sure that your attic doesn't get too hot. Here we are in the kitchen, starting with your faucet. So cold, hot, somewhere in between. You can pull out your sprayer like so, it returns like that. Touch this button to switch to the spray mode and back. Turns off right here. This is your soap dispenser. You simply press that and the soap that you've put in comes out. The way you fill that is very simple. You just pick this up and pour the soap right into that hole. Do not unscrew the bottle from underneath. It will be a big pain for you to put that back together. On this side, you've got your disposal. This switch here is the style that we see on a single level kitchen island. You may also have a wall switch for your disposal. When you're doing the disposal, you want to make sure you're running the cold water. Press the button like so. Press again to turn it off. Always have the water running when you're using the disposal. Come around under here. I'm going to look at a couple things under the sink. First of all, if you're having an issue with the disposal, if it locks up, there's a reset button and it's right under there and you can't see it. You're going to have to take my word for it, but you'll feel it. It's right in front. It's a little button, and if the disposal trips its own breaker because it got locked up after you've cleared the clog, that's how you'll reset it. Also, you see taped right here is this Allen wrench. If you, again, have something locked in there, then you can take that. There's a hole right in the middle. You'll put that in there and you can use that to help yourself break it free. You'll just end up having to stick your hand into here. This little flapper is what keeps food from spraying out, but you can just stick your hand right into there, clean out whatever the mess is, get out whatever's stuck, the bobby pin or the Barbie doll head or whatever it is, get that out. If you need to, use this key to break the disposal free, reset it with the little button right there if you need to, and then you should be good to go. While we're down here, we're also going to look at your floor cleaner. This is called Bona. This is the floor cleaner that we recommend for cleaning your hardwood floors. These hardwood floors look great, and they will look great for a long time if you take care of them. You do not want to clean them with abrasive cleaners or water. You want to use this Bona. It does a great job. These are very durable floors. They can dent under high heels. They can dent under heavy objects. Do be careful with what you do here. They do have a really great coating on them that keeps them free from everyday scratches, but they can still be scratched, damaged, dinged up, or otherwise, if you abuse them, they're going to reflect that. Take care of them with the Bona. Don't put heavy things on them. They'll last you for a very long time. Also, while we're in here, let's talk about your granite countertops. If you have granite or quartz countertops, then you're going to want to clean them with a cleaner called Barkeeper's Friend. You do not want to use any abrasive cleaners on your granite or quartz countertops. If you have granite, we will seal the granite prior to closing on the home. After you've owned the home, they typically recommend resealing your granite every 12 to 18 months. You can look that up on YouTube. There's a bunch of videos that will show you how to do that and how to take care of your granite countertops. Quartz does not need to be sealed. Also over here, your appliances. Now this is our most common electric range or microwave setup. These would be the ones you would most often see, but we do offer several different appliance packages. You may have something different. What's important is that you find this envelope here. That's all of your owner's manuals and documentations. You'll want to use these manuals to make sure that you're operating your oven, microwave, and dishwasher in a safe manner. So look for this envelope. It'll have in it your user manuals and everything that you need to operate your kitchen appliances. If you have a crawl space home, your water shutoff is going to be here. This is in the under the stairs closet at the main level. This is your water meter. Notice you got two shutoffs here for your water. This one is ahead of your water meter. This is where the main water comes up from the house. This one's just past your water meter. Both of these are on. That's the way you need it to be most of the time. If you ever have a leak in your home, something comes up where water is running, water is dripping, you know where it is, you don't know where it is, first thing to do is to come here, grab this handle, and shut off your water. Once you shut it off here, then you can go back. I'm going to show you where the shutoffs are for your sinks and for your toilets, and you can address those things there at the individual spot. But to start, if you have a leak, turn that off right there. You can also turn it off ahead of the meter if you want to, or for some reason your water meter itself was leaking. But normally, both of these are going to be on. This one back here is your sprinkler shutoff. You can see that's the first main T past this shutoff valve. Right now this is off because we are in winter mode and this sprinkler system hasn't been turned on yet. During the summer, this handle will be turned sideways, it'll be across the pipe and the water will be flowing. I'm not going to do that now because I don't want a bunch of water to come shooting out of the little drain here. We do have a separate video that shows you how to start up your sprinkler system and to get your water turned on for the summer. Also, if you have a crawl space home, often we'll put your paint touch-up, any extra paint. We'll put in here any extra materials. Maybe put in here in the crawl space, or you may put under the stairs closet, or you may put those in the crawl space as well. I'm going to show you how to get into that here in just a second. This panel here, if you have a crawl space home, is going to be right here in the end of the stairs closet. This is where all of your phone lines and cable lines run into the house. You see there's also a power outlet right here. So when your cable or internet or phone company is setting up service, they're going to need to get into here to connect that cable from the outside, where we showed you a minute ago, to here. They'll be able to tie it in to each of the individual rooms. That's just simple screws. You can just pull this panel open and you'll see all the wires hiding back in here. Right here, this kind of trap door, that's how you're going to get into the crawl space in your home. Grab this lift. I'm going to set this out of the way here. And then you can carefully use this ladder to get down into your crawl space. So down here in your crawl space, first of all, you notice this is lined and insulated all the way around. You do want to be careful with this liner. You can store stuff down here, like those kinds of plastic tubs are really good down here. Boxes are fine down here. You want to be careful with stuff that could damage this liner. There's dirt underneath this. You do want to keep this liner in good shape, so be careful with it. Over here, here's your furnace. I'm going to show you how to change the filter on this one, and we'll talk in more detail about furnaces when we get into a basement home where it's going to be a little easier to get around. But the main thing you're looking for here is this, where you'll change your filter. You just flip this up, and your filter is right behind this panel here. The size of the filter is written right on the end. This is an 18 by 25 by 1. You want to check and make sure you're getting the right size filter for your furnace. Some of them do vary. They have a direction sometimes that are supposed to go in. Just look for the arrows on that. The air flows this way. You do want to change this once a month. When you're done, just flip that closed, just like so. Like I said, you want to change that about once a month. You do not ever want to run your furnace without a filter. Dirt, dust, other debris can get in. The filter is designed to protect your furnace. Without the filter, you could damage the furnace itself. So easy to change right there. Change about every 30 days. One more thing, this light switch here that controls the light in this closet also controls the light downstairs in the crawl space. All right, if you have a gas fireplace in your home, here's how to operate it. There'll be a switch. Usually it's going to be this closest switch to the fireplace here. You can see this switch is for the light, this one's for the fireplace, and it's super simple. You just turn it on, wait for a moment, and you'll see the flames spring to life. You want to just know that it's going to take a few seconds for it to kick on. That is normal operation for these types of fireplaces. So you can see it starting up there, really nice natural looking logs. If you run this over time, like if you run it for a couple of hours, especially when you first get it, you will see some apparent discoloration on the glass there. That's normal for a new fireplace. When you first start using it, over time you won't see that anymore. When you're ready to turn it off, just come back over here, flip that switch to off, and that'll turn the fireplace off. This fireplace will put out some heat. You do not want to leave this on when you leave the house. Do make sure to turn it off when you're done using it. We're going to pause here to talk briefly about your whole house fan. This is a ventilation fan that we put into our homes because they're built so tightly and with such energy efficiency that we have to have a fan that circulates in fresh air from the outside. The switch to turn this fan on and off is here in your laundry room. And there's a switch right here. It's labeled whole house ventilation fan disconnect switch. The fan unit itself, you can see right up here in the ceiling. If for some reason you need to turn this off to work on it or for some other important reason, you turn it off right there. As a general rule, you want to leave this running all the time. When you do turn it on, it takes it a few seconds to kick in. That's normal as well. Here we are at your thermostat. There's a few different things to point out on this. This is going to be the most common thermostat you see, but we do have a few different variations. One, quick and easy, to change your batteries, you pull that down, takes double A's, put that back up. Here on the side, little tab that says directions, you can pull that out. Here's your instructions for how to operate it. You do want to review these in detail, make sure that you understand all the details of operating and programming your thermostat. Just to very briefly cover it, your mode, if you look up here, right now it says heat. Press that mode button. Now it's in cool, now it's off. And off it's off. Heat, cool, off. And the fan, right now is an auto. Circulation means it's operating at a low speed, circulating air throughout the house. On means it's on at normal high speed all the time. Auto means it only comes on when either the heat or the AC is running, and then the fan's off at other times. I normally leave mine in circulation mode because I like the air to circulate through the house, keeps the temperature more even. Does require you to change your furnace filter a little more frequently, so keep that in mind. And then when it comes on, when the heat or AC kicks on, it still kicks into that normal high-speed mode. This is where you're going to set your temperature, and it's going to tell you what you're setting for. This tells you that, hit hold, and now it's going to move the heat up. There we go to 68. So right now it's 66, and it's going to run the heat. If you heard it just click, turned on, it's going to run the heat until it gets up to 68 in here. Likewise, if you had it in cool mode, and it says it's 66 degrees in here, I set it down to 62, and now it'll kick on the AC unit until it gets down to 62 degrees inside. Probably not ideal because it's kind of a wintry day. Turn it back into heat. That's your basic operation, and again, check these instructions for details on how to program it and all the details on how to use your thermostat. Talk a little bit about paint and drywall. You've got a latex paint on the walls. You can clean it with a little soap and water, a little sponge. You want to be careful not to scrub it too hard. That could just take the paint right off. Obviously, that's not a warranty item. In general, cosmetic touch-ups, once you close on the home, there's no longer any paint touch-up or cosmetic touch-ups that are covered under warranty. So like if you see something up here like that, that's the kind of thing we want to look for during your buyer walkthrough. Want to make sure you put a little piece of blue tape on that. We'll come and touch that up before the closing. After closing, something like that would be your responsibility. Drywall settling cracks can occur over time. This is normal. It's a new home. We live in an environment with extremes between heat and cold, and drywall settling cracks can occur. We will come back and touch up any drywall settling cracks one time during the first year. After that, any settling cracks would be your responsibility unless they become structural issues. Structural issues, of course, would be handled under our structural warranty. Your Shaw carpet, if you got our standard carpet, comes with a 5-year warranty from the manufacturer. You do want to take care of your carpet. If you take care of it, it will take care of you. It'll last you for a very long time. You want to vacuum it regularly. You want to be careful to use appropriate cleaners that are designated as carpet cleaners, not harsh chemicals. If you want to make sure to keep your carpet from fading, notice how right now we don't have any blinds or anything on these windows. The direct sun coming in the windows on the carpet can fade the carpet over time. So you do want to use window coverings, blinds or drapes. Make sure that those are pulled when the direct sun is coming in. That'll help to keep your carpet from fading over time. If you just get online and Google Shaw Carpet Care, that's S-H-A-W, Shaw Carpet Care, it'll take you right to a site that'll tell you how to do a really good job taking care of your carpet so it lasts you a really long time. This is a combination carbon monoxide and smoke detector. It's out in one of the common areas. If you were in the bedrooms have a smoke detector only. These are all hardwired for power, and they also have a battery backup. That's going to be ensure that you've got power to these devices to help protect you and your family. In the case of a carbon monoxide or fire emergency, they will go off. If they go off, your first step is to leave the house, figure out what's going on. If it's carbon monoxide, you want to get out of the house immediately. Call 911, call the gas company for help. If you have a gas leak, didn't mention this earlier, but if you have a gas leak, you leave the house, you call 911, and you call the gas company in that order. Always leave the house first if there's a gas leak or carbon monoxide emergency. You also want to keep track of your batteries. The best way to do this is just remember, change your clock, change your battery. So in the spring and the fall, when we have daylight saving time, when we go back to standard time, you just want to take that time to go ahead and change your batteries and all your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors as well. Talk briefly about light fixtures and ceiling fans. Lights are pretty simple. Turn them on, turn them off. Ceiling fans on the wall, you're going to have a switch. That's going to turn the power on to the ceiling fan and whatever the last setting was. These two chains here, the bottom one is for your light. So you can also turn off your light here. If you turn it off there, the switch will no longer turn your light on and off. So generally, you're going to want to leave the light on and use the switch on the wall to turn your lights on and off. This higher one here does the fan speed. Right now you can see this fan is running on high. It's got 3 settings. That's going to be medium. That should be low. And one more pole would be off. Again, if it's turned off at the chain, the switch on the wall is not going to do anything. All it does is send power up to the fan. So you want to set it to whatever speed you like. That's high, that's medium. We leave it there, and then you can turn it on or off from the switch. All the light fixtures in your home, whether it's one of these light fixtures here in the ceiling fan, the light fixtures in your bathrooms, bedrooms, public areas, every light fixture in your home has a stamp on the side of it that says what's the maximum safe size bulb for that fixture. It's very important that you do not put a bigger light bulb in a fixture than what it's stamped for. That can be dangerous. It can cause a fire. So do make sure to keep an eye on that when you're changing your bulbs. Also, of course, bulbs are not warranty items. Those are homeowner maintenance items. So, talk briefly about your privacy locks here in your home or heading into the bathroom. And what do you do when you find out that your 3-year-old has locked the door and you can no longer get into the bedroom or bathroom? Look up here on these door frames. Most of the door frames on top are going to have one of these little keys sitting up here. You can, once you move in, take them, put them wherever you want. Recommend hiding at least one in a kitchen drawer, somewhere safe. You just take this, slip it right in for the hole there, feel around for the slot, turn it, and we're in. Coming into the bathroom, show you a couple things that are important here in the bathroom. First of all, your sinks, cold water, hot water. This is all normal. An important homeowner maintenance item that you might not know if you haven't owned a home before is your aerators. Notice how when the water comes out, it's kind of streamy, just the way it looks. If it starts to look like it's clogged or it's not coming out nice, you might need to clean your aerators. And that's usually pretty simple. You'll unscrew this here. You can usually do it by hand, just like so. This little thing here can sometimes get debris. If you have hard water or water with a lot of debris in it, it can clog up this little screen right there. You can use this sink right there, rinse it out a little bit, get it cleaned off. Once it's all clean, you just screw it back on. You just want to hand tighten this. It doesn't have to be super tight. Snug that right back up, and now you're working again. Another important thing for your sink, if you have a leak, you break off one of these handles, water spraying everywhere. Again, what's the first thing you do? You go downstairs, or you go to your crawl space, water shut off, you shut off the main. Once you shut off the main, then you can come back up here and deal with the sink. So if you come around to here, look down here, you can see these two shutoffs here. One's for the cold, one's for the hot. And you've got these two little shutoffs right here. Now the cold shut off, now the hot's shut off. I'll turn the hot back on and leave the cold off, and if you come up here, nothing's working there. If I turn that on, now the water's going again. So if you have a problem, shut off the main downstairs first, then you can come up here, shut off the specific issue you're having. You can get it fixed, replace the handle, whatever you need to do. Same thing around here on the toilets. Each toilet has also got, and of course the toilet when it has cold water, has got its own water shut off. Down here, turn it like that, it's off. Turn it like that, and it's on. So if you have a toilet running, can't get it shut off, need to work on it, that's where you turn it off to get that fixed. All right, it's time for a bath. Here's how to operate your tub and faucets. Obviously, hot, cold. To use the drain, this thing unscrews. That is so you can get in here and clean it out. But the way you operate it, it's normally going to be like this. You just push that down. It's closed. You pull it up. It's open. That is how you set the drain for your bath. Operate your shower. You've got this lever here. Turn it on to cold, all the way around to hot, somewhere in between to mix it to the temperature that you like. Do make sure the drain, you want to keep that drain clear, free of hair, free of other debris. So if it starts to, get hair stuck up in or whatever, just clean it up and throw it away. Don't push it further down the drain. That's the kind of thing that can lead to clogs over time. All right, let's talk briefly about your ceramic tile if you have ceramic tile in your home. If you have it on your floors here, all of the baths and showers do have a ceramic tile surround. So even if you have vinyl flooring, you still have ceramic tile in your baths and showers. You want to keep this clean. You can clean it with any appropriate tile cleaner. Grout can stain over time. If you would like to seal your grout, that's something you may do after closing. Also keep in mind, settling cracks in grout are common. They can occur over time as well. We will do one touch-up of grout within that first year if you'd like to have our warranty team out to do that. All right, we're also going to talk one more thing in the bathroom about your Gfi outlets. These are in the bathrooms. There should be one in the kitchen, should be one in the garage. They look like this, and you can see how they kind of look a little weird, and they got these little buttons in here. These buttons are two important purposes. What the Gfi outlet is designed to do is, if you have something plugged into here that gets dropped into water, like you drop your hairdryer into the bathtub, then it is designed to shut itself off if something like that happens. Obviously, you're still responsible for your own safety, but this is an important safety feature built into new homes today. The way this works is If it gets tripped, there's two ways to do it. One is this little button here. This is your test button, and you can see now this little light is on. That shows that it's been tripped. You'll reset it in this middle button by pushing that in, and now it's back to working again. If we have something plugged into here, when you hit that, it will quit working. If that red light is on, that means that this got tripped for real. You can reset it with that red button, but you want to make sure, first unplug anything that's in it, find out why it tripped. If you have to have something plugged in that trips this breaker regularly, that's an issue you need to figure out for your safety and for the safety of your home and people living in it with you. One more thing to mention, if you do happen to have a jetted tub, that's like a whirlpool type tub that has the jets, this is your standard soaking tub. Most people prefer these, but if you do have the jetted tub, if you want to use that, you want to make sure that it is full, that the water is up to at least 2 inches over the jets before you turn it on. Otherwise, you can burn out your motor. Also, super tempting, please do not use bubble bath and the jets at the same time. That's the kind of thing that not only can cause damage to the mechanism, also can create a big mess for you. Another thing to talk about before we leave the bathroom is knobs, and this applies to all over your home. Sometimes these knobs can get loose over time. You can see this one's nice and tight, it's well installed. But if you come and you find the knobs loose, it's shaking, the whole mechanism is shaking in there. Right there's a little indentation. You can use a screwdriver to pop off this plate. Once that plate's popped off, you can use a screwdriver to tighten down the doorknob into the door, and then pop that plate right back on. Here we are in the garage. We operate your garage opener, it's pretty easy. There's this button here, opens the garage door. Push the button to turn off. You want to lock it so that it can't be used. This little switch right here. You flip that to there. You can still operate it from the button, but the exterior remotes will not work if that switch is on. This button here, you turn your light on and off if you just need to turn on the light on the actual opener itself. Where are your garage remotes? Well, when you first move into the house, they're most likely going to be in this little bag attached right here to the side of the opener. Just grab it and pull that off, and you can see there's your operation manual. Please review that for safety, and also your two remotes right here as well. Coming over here to the door. This is your manual lock for the garage door. You would use this if you were going to be, for example, leaving town, if for some other security reason you needed to manually lock up the garage. See, this one right here is set to not be able to be locked right now. Before this home is closed, this bolt will be removed. We do this for installation purposes, but this bolt will be removed. You'll grab this, slide it through, and make sure it fully engages into this hole here. That will keep the garage door from opening. You do want to make sure, do not try to operate your garage opener when you have this lock engaged. Here we are at the breaker panel. These are typically in the garage on the far outside wall. First, I want to point out this item here. This is your whole house ground. This is maintenance free, but it does have to be exposed by code, so you will see it sticking out there. That is normal. This is how you open the breaker box. Push that there, release the door. Typically these are going to be labeled as to what they are, and you can see, for example, down here, your AC unit, that's a big one. We should be able to find the range on here. There's another big one, that's a double. Those are your dining outlets. Bathroom GFI right there. So this is the GFI outlet. We just talked about this in your bathroom. The garage GFI, the house GFI, that'll be the one that goes to the kitchen and any other outlets that are required. This one's your furnace. This is important. So if you're ever having an issue where heat's not working, AC's not working, the first thing to do is check your thermostat. Remember how I showed you to make sure that it's set for a temperature that would be telling the furnace to come on or the AC unit to come on. Once you've done that, you see that it's on, it's set to heat or cool, and the thermostat set appropriately, then you're going to come out here and check and make sure your furnace breaker and your AC breaker are where they're supposed to be. For these, any of these to be tripped, it's very simple. that's off. But if you come out and it's been tripped, it may not be all the way in the off position. It may be kind of in a hung position. You see that little light there? So flip it all the way to off, all the way to on, and now that's going to be working. And now that was the microwave, so now the clock's going to be flashing when we get back inside the house. Over here is your sprinkler controller. When we first install your sod, we will program the sprinkler controller for a lot of watering to get through your first 30 days. Make sure your sod sets appropriately. Once you get past the 30 days, you can dial back the watering a little bit. There's your programming instructions, and that's your sprinkler system. So please review these instructions, make sure you understand how to program and operate the system. Also, notice this outlet here that the sprinkler controller is plugged into is another one of those Gfi outlets, Gfci Outlets. Same thing here with little buttons. You do want to make sure, it is important, for example, if you put a fridge or a freezer in your garage, you don't want to plug those into a Gfci outlet. You want to plug them into a standard non-Gfci outlet, because if one of these trips, then your freezer thaws and you lose all the meat that you have stored in it. So you do want to plug an outside fridge or freezer into a regular outlet, not one of the Gfci outlets. So on your garage floor, you notice this is one of your super smooth surfaces. Again, this can get hairline cracks over time. Hairline cracks are not warranty items. That just is part of living in Colorado. You want to keep care of your garage floor, sweep it out in the winter when you get all the salt and gunk that drips off your car. You do want to hose that out, brush it out, otherwise keep your garage floor clean. Over time, using salt, not obviously usually in your garage, but outside on your driveway, using salt in your driveway is not recommended. That can cause more rapid deterioration of your driveway concrete. Obviously, that's the kind of thing that's not covered by warranty. And inside your garage, when you come in from the snow, and you've been out when they've been spraying the salt, putting down the other chemicals on the roads, you do want to make sure when you get a chance, when things warm up a little bit, spray that stuff off your garage floor, spray it out into, out of the house, off the driveway, and make sure that you keep this garage floor clean. That way it'll last you a really long time, and you'll enjoy many happy years here in your home. We're going to talk here in this basement home about the water shut-off again, and then also about the mechanical systems. If you have a basement home, your water shot is going to look like this. You can see this one's kind of on the inside of the home. Sometimes it'll also be on an outside wall, but it always looks the same. You got your water meter. You've got a shut off ahead of the water meter and a shut off after it. Right now the water's on. Turn it this way. The water's off. Again, that's your water main shut off. You have a leak in the house, come down here first, turn this off, then go do the individual shut off and figure out what you have to do to get the issue repaired. This is your sprinkler. Again, first main connection past the shut off. Right now it's off because we're still in winter mode. If this were summer, this handle would be in line with the pipe showing the water's running. I'm not going to turn that on because I don't want a bunch of water to come out of the drain here. Over on this side, you got your furnace again. So same thing here with the furnace filter, and it's the same little clips, and the filter is right in here, just like so. Again, you always want to make sure that's in there, change it out every 30 days. That one flips closed just like that. A couple more things to show on the furnace. First, come around here. This is your main gas line coming into the furnace, and this is the gas shutoff. So if you're having some kind of issue with the furnace, some kind of gas leak, again, gas leak, leave the house first, then call 911, then call the gas company in that order. This is not a homeowner maintenance item for a gas emergency. In a non-emergency, if you need to shut the gas off, same thing here, that's off, that's on. Anything with a pipe like this, when it's in line with the pipe, that means it's on. This is your humidifier controller, and there's a couple of things we have to show you on the humidifier. This one is the Humidistat. This is what the humidity setting is set for, and when it's on in the winter, we normally recommend a setting of about 35%. You can adjust that if you like, but here's where that is set. And then there's one other point we have to look at. If you come around here to this side, this is the actual humidifier unit itself, and there's this little flap here. You can see it says in here summer and summer, and you can't see there, but this side says winter. So in the summer, it's off, right? You're not humidifying in the summer. There's already enough humidity in the summer typically. Either way is the same. It's just a little flap inside, so now it's off. You turn it this way, it's running with the pipe, the flap's open. Now it's on for winter service. You set the humidistat to, again, about that 35% is what we recommend, and then your humidifier is actually running. This is your hot water heater. The hot water heaters these days do not have a pilot light. It's all electronic. This is your little controller down here, and it's got instructions on how to check and make sure what's going on. You can see there's a little light here that's blinking, and you can actually look right up here on the top, and it will tell you what those flashing lights means. So that is a normal mode, occasional flash, everything's fine. If it's flashing like 2 long flashes and a short flash, that's a code you can look up here. It'll tell you what's going on. Right here is the thermostat to set the temperature for your hot water. Goes from low to hot, A, B, C, very hot. We will start it here at A, and that's typically we would recommend you leave it. If you adjust that to something hotter, then you would do so at your own risk, especially if you have younger kids in the house. It is highly recommended not to set your hot water heater too hot. While we're down here, let's look at one other thing. We've got a couple little cracks here. This is a normal crack in a basement. You can see it's a hairline crack. It's very small, not doing anything structural. There's no water coming from it. A crack like that would not be a warranty item, not in the first month, not in the first year, not in the first 10 years. That's just normal part of settling concrete living in Colorado. A larger crack, something that meets the standards that are set in the warranty for width or for offset, or if water's coming in through it, any kind of crack that's structural, those are things you want to call us about. Call us sooner rather than later. Let us come out and take care of those. That's a hairline crack. That kind of crack would not be a warranty item. The manuals for your furnace and hot water heater are right up here, attached to the side of the furnace. You can see there's that little thing, that little sleeve where the manuals are. You can review those, make sure that you understand how to handle your furnace safely. Usually down here in the basement, if you have a home with a basement, is where they'll put any leftover materials from your home. You can see you've got some spare carpet, some spare tile, some spare wood. So if you have an issue, you damage some carpet or damage some of that wood, you got a few replacement pieces here to work with, should make it pretty easy. If you follow me back here, let's talk briefly about the sump pit. This is what the sump pit looks like in this home. If you have a home with a walkout basement, it might be in a different location. It'll be like in a more of a back corner of the home, but it always looks about like this. It's got this black sleeve, the pipe coming out of it. This pipe connects out to the perimeter drain system and discharges from the home. You can see this outlet here doesn't have anything plugged into it. That means there is no sump pump in this pit. It's just the pit and it's ready. If we did not see water at the time of inspection, then we're not required by code to put in a pump, and therefore this sump does not have a pump in it. If you have a home that doesn't have a pump and you'd like to add one, it's pump ready. All the piping and the outlet are already in, and that's pretty easy to add if you decide to do that in the future. If you do have a sump pump, you will know because you will see it plugged into here, and you'll see the cord running right down into this pit. What we recommend if you do have a sump pump is, let's say on a quarterly basis, but certainly not any less often than when you change those smoke detector batteries, which is twice a year, bring down a large bucket, like a large 5-gallon bucket full of water, pour it into there, make sure you hear that sump kick on, make sure you hear the pump kick on rather, and that it pumps the water out of here. So you want to test out from time to time, make sure that it's working appropriately. All right, so we've gone through the whole house. We've looked at all the different systems inside and outside and talked about what you need to know as a brand new homeowner. There's one more important thing we want to discuss, and that is your warranty service. After you close on your home and you move in, whether you buy a new home or whether you buy a used home, there will be things that come up during your period of home ownership. The difference with a new home, of course, is to have that warranty service backing you up so that we'll take care of many of those things depending on how long it's been since you closed on your home. Within the first year, you have your workmanship warranty from Saint Aubyn. If you have a warranty item that comes up, the first thing you want to do is go to our website, saintaubynhomes.com/warranty. That's SAINTAUBYN homes.com/warranty. There you can choose your Northern Colorado or Southern Colorado. You can find the number to call for emergency service, as well as a form to fill out that you can do online to submit any warranty claims that are not emergencies. What's the difference between an emergency and a non-emergency? Emergencies are things that are an immediate effect on the safety or immediate livability of your home. So, for example, the heat is out during the winter. That's an emergency. There's a major water leak. The water's not working. The drains are not working. Those are emergencies. Those are things we will respond to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Things that are not emergencies. Typically, AC out is actually not an emergency in most cases. A light fixture not working, not an emergency in most cases. Most warranty items are not emergency items. We ask that you put those in through our website form. Our warranty team will respond to them, get out here to evaluate it, and get it taken care of for you as quickly as possible. For emergencies, on our website, there's a phone number to call, depending on where your home is. You'll call that number during business hours. You'll reach our office. They'll send somebody out right away. Outside of business hours, they'll direct you to an on-call number. You'll call the on-call number and leave a message, and whoever's on call for warranty will respond to that, get you taken care of as quickly as possible. Most importantly, we do want to make sure that you have a very happy, very long, just a really pleasant, irresistible home buying experience with Saint Aubyn. And so anything that comes up along the way, do let us know. Send in that warranty request. Let our team come out and take care of you. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for the opportunity to work with you today and show you around this house or the few different houses that we've been in, talk to you about these systems. I am so excited about this decision that you've made to become a Saint Aubyn homeowner, and we are really, really looking forward to having you as a member of the Saint Aubyn family.